It's not just a game, it's riverparishfootball.com. This week's highlights after this.
It's a whole lot better for planned service than it is for demand service. We're what satisfaction is supposed to feel like, and we guarantee that satisfaction 100%.
Now's the time to call Cajun Comfort Electrical Air Conditioning and Heating and just ask for
Comfort Club.
Hi again, everyone. Welcome to the second week of regular season action in River Parish football. I'm Eric Ritchie, and welcome to the home studios here in Destrehan for riverparishfootball.com. We'll be joined on the set in just a few moments by both George Becknell and Lori Lyons. They were at games around the area tonight, and unfortunately for both of them, they both saw River Parish teams go down. And in the first 2 weeks, that's kind of been a trend that's been developing. But one thing we know for sure, Lutcher and Hahnville, when those two teams get together, some River Parish football team's going to win. And listen to the prophetic words from Lutcher Bulldogs head coach Tim Detillier, whose Bulldogs have beat Hahnville in each of the last 3 years. And in all 3 years, the game has gone down to the closing minutes. Listen to Coach Tim just moments before kickoff.
This is Lutcher Hahnville. So besides the physicalness and the intensity, it's going to be entertaining. It could be a classic, it could be sloppy, but boy, I'm telling you, I'm not going to the concession stand. I'm not going to afford to miss a play in this game, and don't leave early because it's going 4 quarters. That's one thing we've proved. You know, I don't know why it's like that, but it just is. It's Lutcher Hahnville, and all I can say is I wish I could buy a ticket and come watch it.
No, Coach, you can't watch tonight. You have to coach, and you have a lot of work to do. Hahnville came to play. East of Melanson, a pair of touchdown passes here on the opening drive to Brandon Singleton. 30-yard touchdown. Yeah, Brandon, the son of Nate Singleton, former NFL wide receiver. Big hits tonight. How about Lutcher's Christian Mathern on special teams, tripping up Dylan Keller. Lynn Simmons, the running back, it's been a pleasant surprise for Lou Valden's Tigers. He got hit quite a bit, but he also did a little giving as well, a little bouncing off defenders. He had a pair of touchdowns. Simmons, a career-high 125 yards on the ground. But once again, Rustin Mathern, Lutcher's quarterback, was sensational. Rushed for a pair of touchdowns, and here in the second quarter, throws one of his 2 TDs. Sully Martin on the receiving end. It was 21-13. Hahnville led at the half. Fourth quarter, Hahnville led 28-13 before once again another Lutcher fourth quarter comeback. The Bulldogs scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. The go-ahead touchdown pass to Spencer Roussel with 57 seconds left, and that was that. Lutcher comes from behind again, and for the 4th year in a row, defeat Hahnville, the final 32-28. Other games that the riverparishfootball.com cameras didn't make it to takes us up to the North Shore. St. Charles Catholic now 0-2, losing to North Shore in Slidell 26-21. The Comets were up 21-20 before North Shore's Dalvin Populist hit Dylan Kelly. A 27-yard touchdown proved to be the winner. Those two hooked up earlier in the night for a 74-yard touchdown. Second consecutive week, Dante Scapero with the pick 6. But Jamel Baptiste, 10 of 21, 177 yards. Again, the final 26-21. Riverside also 0-2, losing on the road for the second consecutive week. This time the Bruley 49-16. Deuce Wallace had a couple of touchdown passes, and Riverside actually trailed at one point 21-2. They rallied to score 14 points within 3 minutes. Wallace with 2 touchdown passes, one to Jonquil Sanders, the other to Herb McGee. Wallace finished 16 of 29 passing for 189 yards, but in the end, it was a 4th and 1, and it was Alexander, the big running back, Carcel Alexander, not only getting the first down, but a 39-yard touchdown. Bruley wins it 49-16. St. James also 0-2. They kept it close, though, against Patterson, 20-13, the final. The Wildcats fell behind 14-zip. Taylor Dennis came back with a 23-yard touchdown run, and quarterback DeQuan Sandoff hooked up with Quan Cole for a 40-yard touchdown. That was the accounting of the scoring for St. James, who again falls just short to Patterson, 20-13. Time for our first break here in our highlight show from the home offices in Destrehan. When we come back, we're going to go on the road. Lori Lyons joins us on studio as we talk and hear about this East St. John Wildcats team playing at Curtis. Highlights and analysis on deck. Brock's Automotive and Tire Center is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. For complete state-of-the-art auto repairs, AC work, and computer diagnostics. We're right along the river in Reserve. Brock's Automotive and Tire Center with 24-hour towing service. Welcome back. Let's get back to the highlights. East St. John at Curtis. And on the chain gang, that's Frank Matisse. Been doing a great job for 7 years. We pick up action second quarter. Curtis led 14-0. They add to that Patrick Morton to Sherman Batty, and goodbye. 66 yards to the house, and with 9:17 left in the half, the Patriots up 21-0. Still second quarter, just about 6 minutes left now, and again, it's the big play. Patriots running back Kevin Horton sprints up the gut, goes the distance, 69 yards, and it was a 27-0 halftime score. As for the offense for East St. John, all you needed to see was number 7. Quarterback Leonard Davis had a big game last week at St. Louis Catholic. Ditto tonight, 104 yards on the ground, threw for 162 yards as well. Sets up the short touchdown. East St. John does dent the scoreboard. Destin Stewart with the point-blank honors. 34-7 is your final score as East St. John now falls to 0-2. And you remember, Philip Banco used to be an assistant for J.T. Curtis. We hear from both head coaches after this one.
To me, they're the number 1 team in the nation. It's like you can quit or you keep trying, and we kept playing. And good for them. That's what it's about. Now we're going to go back and look at the film and correct mistakes, move on and install and get ready for Parkview Baptist. Their mind is off of their troubles and our troubles for 2-3 hours, and this is where we want to be, and that's why we're working. This is our second year of the program. We're always proud of our kids, but they're happy to be here, I promise you.
I told the kids in the middle of the field, I said, guys, listen, I said, tough times are not going to last, but tough people will. And I said, y'all are tough guys. You're going to overcome this, and you have overcome a great deal. And I fully think that Coach Banco and his staff are going to get these guys focused, and I think they will make noise in that district and make a battle run for that district championship before this season's over.
I did suffer damage, but my team did. Like, we lost everything. Like, we lost equipment, cleats, everything. And I'm just glad that Nike helped us out.
Yeah. Talk about the shoes.
Oh, the shoes are great.
Aren't they cool?
Really wasn't expecting the shoes. We was really selling jersey. And we got Under Armours.
Uh-huh. I like those
and
shoes.
And it said believe.
Oh, look how cool.
Because we've been through a lot, and our coach always tell us, do you believe? If you don't believe, you don't belong.
34-7, again, the final, Curtis over East St. John. Lori Lyons was at Bertolito Stadium. And again, Curtis is just dominant again this year. We saw what they did in the Superdome last week, and East St. John found out firsthand. What stood out to you tonight, Kurt?
They had so many weapons. They used 12 ball carriers, 3 different quarterbacks. It was an ever-changing package 1, package 2 coming in and out of the game. They just flushed personnel in and out. It was kind of hard to keep track after a while of who was in the game.
An exhausting couple of weeks, obviously, for the Wildcats after what they went through with the aftermath of Isaac and the flood situation. I know you talked to head coach Philip Banco earlier in the week as he prepared for this game. They're practicing over in New Orleans East. They're practicing at Destrehan. It's been a wild couple of weeks. How did Coach Banco seem after the game?
He seemed very relaxed after the game. He said he was happy to be there. I think the football field is the one place where everything's normal for them. And the Curtis people fed the kids after the game, and they were all running around, and I saw lots of hugs and good words from Curtis players to East St. John players. And everybody seemed very relaxed, and he said everybody was happy to be there.
2 long touchdown runs last week by Leonard Davis. I see he gets the job done. Over 100 yards again on the ground, 100 and some yards passing as well, 162. He was pretty much the offense.
He was East St. John's offense. I think all but 40 yards he could account for. He was an amazing player, and even J.T. Curtis singled him out in his post-game comments about what a fine player he was and will continue to be once they can focus on just football and not where they're going to practice and where they're going to watch film and who's going to give them equipment.
Lori Lyons, we're pleased to have her on the staff here at riverparishfootball.com. We'll take a break. We step aside. George Becknell joins us in just a minute. He was at Destrehan tonight, and so is Carr. And we'll have highlights and George's take on the game after this. When you're driving down the road and you hear this noise, what do? It's simple. You call Laplace Glass at 985-652-4222. Go ahead and relax. It's a painless process. Laplace Glass. Give us a break. We'll fix it. Welcome back, and the highlights continue. Destrehan hosting Carr. Cheerleader Melissa Dewey had plenty to cheer about early. First play from scrimmage, Donovan Isom hit Ricky Jefferson for a touchdown. Here, Isom connects to Derek McGee. Isom was 11 of 18, 113 yards, but after that, poor Melissa and the Wildcat cheerleaders, not too much to cheer about. Special teams meltdown here. 2 block punts on the night by Carr. This one from Satori McZeal. Jawan Offrey recovers, scoops, and scores. Suddenly, it's a 38-7 Carr lead. Devontae Knoll, we saw him tear up Hahnville last week. He pretty much did the same against Destrehan. Had 67 yards rushing, a pair of touchdowns, also threw a touchdown pass. This is a completion to Anthony Jones for a big 15-yard gain. Carr just kept coming at him. Sean Evans on the ground, chewing up a big 15-yard play here, and that sets up one more score by the Cougars. It was Evans again, this time going left side for 12 yards and a touchdown. Carr rolls. Destrehan now 1-1 after losing 45-7.
I tell you what, they are a truly good football team. We didn't play well, I know that, but a lot of that had to do with Carr, and we just got to continue to get better and work on mistakes. But I tell you, I don't know if we'll face a better team than Carr. They just have it all, and they came out and proved it tonight.
Is your goal right now to try to keep them on the earth? You know what I mean? To try to keep their heads from getting too large at this point?
The schedule does that. We play Selma. That's a real good football team, and if you think you're good, you got to go out there and play a Selma football team. You're going to come back down to earth. So we just want to stay grounded, want to stay level-headed, want to go out there and play good football all the time. We just want to put out a good product.
George Becknell joins us now on set. And George, you were at the Destrehan game. I know one thing that you said to me that stood out. I'm looking at the numbers. Destrehan, 24 yards rushing on 22 carries.
They just could not get the running game going, and it was from the very start they weren't able to run the football, and so it caused them to throw the ball more early, and even that they had trouble throwing the football as well. I mean, it was just dominating performance by Carr. Carr showed that the win over Hahnville last week was no fluke.
Mike Silva, who's been a coach for 25 years, the offensive coordinator at Hahnville for the last 13 years, told me before tonight's game with Lutcher that Carr is as efficient of a football team this early in the season he's ever seen in his career. Is that kind of what was on display tonight at Destrehan?
But they didn't do it in what you would call a spectacular fashion. They stopped the running game, so they forced them to pass, and then Destrehan had trouble passing the ball as well. But it's not like they broke big plays or anything like that. Now, they did block 2 punts. They were down early. They blocked a punt that put them ahead 14-7. It set up the score, and then they blocked a punt for another score later in the game.
I know a special dedication before the game. What was the scene like for the moment of silence for former Destrehan player Devin Walker, the young man who unfortunately broke his neck at a football game last week playing for Tulane at Tulsa, and of course the widow of Elmo Adolph, a guy who's been a ref for a long time. He's always up in the scoreboard at Destrehan, up in the press box, a boxing referee as well. He's near and dear to the River Parish area. What was the scene like before the game?
Well, it's been real strange the last few weeks. I mean, when you look in the river parishes, when you see what's happened with the police officers who were killed, and then you see the storm, and then now, having this happen as well, it just seems like this area has just gone through so much. It was a very, somber moment.
No question about it. And again, all of us here at riverparishfootball.com, our thoughts and prayers are with the young man Devin Walker right now, and hopefully a speedy recovery. So that'll do it for week 3 on the schedule. For Lori Lyons, for George Becknell, I'm Eric Ritchie. Thanks so much for logging on to riverparishfootball.com.